Alright, so I'm going to be doing this Legend Lost sector 20 levels under. Please remember to be of level at least, or at least close. Make sure you have on at least arc resist, at least one. I recommend two. I have on a one void for the orc because he can be really annoying if you do not. I also kind of recommend heavy ammo finder so you can just get some heavy ammo. I'm using more of a bonk build. I'm using more of ad clear for the thrall. This is what I'm using for my time. You can make changes whatever you want. I really like healing grenade because I don't really find use for any other grenade and it keeps me alive. I have Quicksilver Storm, which you'll see me use a lot more than any other weapon that I have right now. I have this for the orc, the unstopped orcs, and the shields for the wizards, and I have this for main and long range DPS for getting barrier champions to barrier. This is just what I have on. At least have on this. And remember with the changes, you do not have to put these on your anything, you just have to have it, which is nice. And these are head. I forgot to mention, but we are on the Cosmodrome over here. I will be showing some of the runes because they can spawn in some other locations. I will show those, at least the ones that I know. So you're not running around like a chicken with their head cut off. Be very careful with this room to the right. I have missed my hammer and it has been quite devastating. But right now, dealing with this barrier, I just want to get him to barrier and then get him out of it. Since I am immensely under level, I want to play this as safe as possible. Make sure you hit that, that's a guaranteed spawn, just like the first one that I hit. And then you want to hug this leftmost wall. I got a very good spawn of one of the runes. I've seen that rune down there and on this wall. I got another very good spawn of the other rune. I've seen this rune on that wall right there. And hold on, let me get to it. Watch out for this room because the cursed thrall will spawn. Just kind of bait it and back up. Usually there's about 5, but I've seen that other rune on this wall right here. And if you can't see anything, because sometimes that one doesn't give off a glow, just pull out your ghost. And you're able to move forward. Now be very careful because this room, it sucks because there's cursed thrall and then there's a barrier champion. the barrier champion getting hurt. Once you see him coming around the corner, which we will see very, very soon, like that, just back up, get him to barrier, and stun him. Unfortunately, I did die. If I did die, I would take out the thrall around him. And then once all the thrall were taken out, then I would focus on him. You just want to stun him so he's not a threat. And then take out the other threats. And then deal with him. But when he's unstunned, that's when he's a threat, which is when you want to take care of him. Sometimes the cursed wall will run right past you, but other times they won't. Now there will be another barrier champion on this topmost balcony. Like right there. Sometimes he won't move to right over there. Sometimes he will though. Unfortunately, I did die again. That's just the nature of being underleveled. He is stunned, and I'm going to move up now. You can see in the bottom left that it says champion is no longer vulnerable, which means well, obviously he's no longer vulnerable. I really like this area, but these thrall will spawn once you get farther up. Just back up. I did lose all my damage, but that's perfectly fine. The orc did spawn. It kind of sucks. I might have been able to throw one more hammer and finish him, but I wasn't gonna take that. I wasn't gonna take that risk. And now you just kind of want to whittle this guy down. Do not hit this guy that much when he's unstunned, because you will do like no damage. So make sure you're hitting him only with your heavy stuff when he is stunned. Now I'm not making this guide just to, well, main purpose why I'm making this guide is just to show you that it is possible under leveled, which means it is possible at level, but it's a whole lot harder under leveled, and I do not recommend it at all. Now this eyeball dude just pop him in the face. Try to hit for that middle eyepiece that you see me aiming for. That's his crit spot. And now there will be a yellow barred wizard on the other side of these barrels. We kind of want to just stay back here for a lot of the time, because there will be a lot of enemies, especially when you are underleveled. If you're closer to or at level, I recommend moving over to the right side. There's a lot less cover, but you have a lot more areas to do damage, and you'll be less likely to get flanked. I really like staying behind this box and casting my barricade. I am going to move back because those guys, I don't really have the range to compete with them. Yeah, because I get 2-shot even though I heal for a bit, but that's the whole reason. This becomes so much easier when you're at level. You don't have to wait until you're at like the pinnacle cap to do this, but it becomes much easier after you do become much higher level. Now, right now, I'm actually going to pop my super. And I'm going to use it sparingly, like I just want to hold on to it for mostly the damage reduction. And throw it at the spawn points of the enemies. Eventually, the big old dude will spawn. And Cursed Thrall will spawn as well. If I can, I like to get back and take out the Cursed Thrall. Wizard goes over there, pop the barricade, take care of the shield, and do some damage. And just make sure that these Thrall stay far away. They have the potential to one-shot you, which means they hurt a lot. If you do use a fusion rifle like me, a linear fusion, make sure you hit as many headshots as possible. That wizard is not dead, but as you can see with my radar, it is directly to my left. And now he's dead. He's probably the easiest part, but he does do the most damage. And then, that's the last sector. You will have to run the actual Lost Sector before you can run the Legend Lost Sector. But that'll just help you feel out the cave and the enemies and where they spawn. But yeah, it's, it's kind of easy, somewhat. It gets a lot easier when you're at level. But this works just fine. And this will also help you out if you are grinding this. So you can get to 8. But you should wait until you do this, because this is not the easiest, especially if you are solo. If you're solo, this becomes much, much, much harder. I do feel like this is kind of annoying, mostly because of this. It's a lot of waiting, especially if you're a solo player like me, but hey, at least Bungie tuned it down from what it was. I use this build um, whenever I played Titan. I got it from Dado, thanks Dado. But it works quite well, and I like it. You can make changes. I do recommend making changes to armor because my stats, they're not the greatest. If you do stats, you would want resilience, strength, and some into recovery, discipline, intellect. You don't have to worry that much about mobility. But yeah, and if you're struggling with jumping puzzles for anything, just swap this to high lift. I don't like catapult lift. High lift for reaching higher spots and strafe lift for basically everything else. So yeah, copy the build, swap some stuff. You can use Arbalest, but we would have to swap this to something else that can stop unstop. And yeah, thanks for watching.